I'm going to hand over to you. I'll just come in when you need me. All right, Kumarisha, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sorry for that. Yes, so we're going to commence with session 4. So it's important for us, as Michael mentioned, time is of the essence. So do we have well-known vocals from George? Well-known vocals from George. If he's not available, can we have Alicia from Canadendal? Alicia Ronel Keys from Canadendal. Are you in readiness? Okay, do we have Jaira Fredericks from PAL? So we can maybe just continue to save time until the others get online.
Yes, I am here, Khairia.
Okay, here, sorry for that. Yes, you may proceed.
Excuse me, was it something for me?
Yes,
Was
you
it
may
any-
proceed. You may
Oh,
proceed.
I may proceed.
And
Okay.
please go in another language. Last language is the ones you prepared.
No. This one's written in English. No, I can't. This is from.
Just joking.
But anyway, this is from my publication. So yeah. Maar ek kan Afrikaans ingooi ook.
No, Kumresh is just very brave because he's not sitting in the room with you. He's behind the protection of a computer screen, so that's why he's challenging you.
He needs no protection from me. I am so homeless. My words are not, but I am completely honest. Okay, so basically just the background. I'm Jaira Fredericks from PAL. I'm part of a poetry group, which Adrian Williams, which is in the group, hi Adrian, is also part of. He's taking a sabbatical at the moment, I believe. But we write together and we write about the issues of our times and our people. So all of those things are included into our writing. I will be doing a poem for you, The African Woman, which I wrote a few years ago, and I also published in one of my self-publications. And here goes. The African Woman. Under this African sun, beyond the African plains and over rivers and mountains, lies creation of magnificence and grandeur. A simple-minded being with many shades, diverse colors, and she speaks in many tongues. Her heart beats to the ancient drums, keeping the beat with customs and culture. She walks bare feet on the gravel roads of life and carry her loved ones' burdens beautifully balanced on her head. She washes the misunderstandings and underappreciation in the crystal clear waters flowing steadily from the waterfalls. She covers her chastity in the lush green elephant leaves and paints her face white. She lifts her chin, bask in the long-awaited rain to quench the dry mentality of past oppression. Who is she? She's the womb of freedom, liberty, and independence. She is an African woman. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, just let us know about the publication details. I keep forgetting this is the first time for me on this platform that I need to unmute myself. So well done. Thanks a lot for that. Do we have well-named vocals from George? If not, I can say Alicia. Are you ready? Alicia Keys from Canadendal.
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I thought you'd say hello to me after such a long time. Since I know you from Canadendal. Okay, you may go ahead. Good to see you after a long time.
Same here. My first question is, can you just give me 1 minute, please?
All right. Whilst we wait for Alicia, it's going to be a minute, maybe a comment or so from somebody until she gets back on. Anybody else? A comment or so? Charlize, anything you'd like to say? Charlize also from Hanadandal.
Yes, Mr. Chetty.
Yes,
Hi,
any
can I
comment?
just comment now?
I have something to say, Mr. Chetty.
Yes, you're more than welcome.
I would just like to read.
As long as it's not going to embarrass me.
Now, I would just like to read something in German, Mr. Chetty, since they're asking for different languages.
German, I hope you're understanding what you're reading, eh? Otherwise, it's going to be a
Okay.
problem. Will someone ask you to
Okay.
translate?
It's just the program that I'll be reading in German, Mr. Chetty.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Für den diesjährigen Internationalen Museumstag setzen sich die Overberg-Region Museen dafür ein, Wissen für alle zugänglich zu machen, indem sie den Museen in der Region und ihren verschiedenen Gemeinschaften die Möglichkeit bieten, gemeinsam an einem Online-Interview des Internationalen Museumstages teilzunehmen. Das Thema lautet Museen für Gleichheit. Wir würden gerne hören, wie Museenvielfalt und Inclusion in unseren kulturellen Institutionen fördern, während sie gleichzeitig den kulturellen Austausch als Beschleuniger für den zwischenmenschlichen Frieden nutzen. Vertritt Museumsfachleute, Organisationen, Institutionen und Museumsdienstleister und bietet ein Forum, um das Image von Museen zu verbessern und Einzelpersonen über eine Reihe von bereichsspezifischen Studien und Programmen in der Region Overberg aufzuklären. Vertreten werden die Museen in Bredasdorp, Caledon, Genadendal, Hermanus, Montague und Swellendam. So that is just the whole program translated into German, Mr. Chetty.
Danke, but I'm going to say Gyabonga Gakulu. So thank you so much. That also is diverse enough. But thanks so much for that. And yeah, perhaps we get the transcript so that we can put it into a newsletter sometime later on. All right. Thanks so much, Charlie. Pleasure. Is Alicia ready? Is Alicia ready? Alicia Keys? She's not on yet. Do we have well-weighing Fuchels from George? Well-weighing Fuchels from George, are you ready for your activity? All right, I think we are waiting for Alicia. Alicia, are you ready for us now? I can see her picture. Is she ready? Alicia, are you ready? Michael, is Alicia with us or not?
Joshi is connected, but we're not hearing anything.
All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to move on to Mauriceburg. Do we have Nina Hanekom? Nina
Hanekom is one of the learners that she quickly jumped in a presentation in one of the earlier sessions.
Yes.
So can we have Lulu from Hermanus, or is that one also done? Lulu from Hermanus.
Hi, Kumresh.
Hi there.
Lulu is here. She's under
Okay.
Joshua, the name Joshua.
All right, so what are we going to do now? Is she going to present or not?
It's an interview. Yes, she is going to present. I'm going to ask her the interview questions and she will be answering to them.
All right, pleasure. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Okay, Lulu, you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Yes, I can. Okay, so as today is International Museum Day, our theme is Museums for Equality, Diversity and Inclusion. So Lulu, what I would like to know, do you miss going to our local museum?
As a matter of fact, I do. I'm always in that surrounding area, so just popping in and just seeing the history of Hermanus is quite awesome. So I do miss going to it.
Okay, wonderful. Then a second question for you. Can you explain this year's theme for International Museum Day in your understanding?
The way I see it, the word diversity means a variety, difference, and then the word inclusion would mean incorporating and having everything in one. So in my understanding, it's about history of all cultures, all communities. About that's what I understand in that matter.
Okay, wonderful. Then we're going on. Do you think that your local museum are true to this year's theme, and why?
I think it is. Honest history is shown in a museum quite in a big way. It's new. It's the history of the community such as Mount Pleasant, Religie, where Hermanus started. So I think we really show that all in one place.
Okay, wonderful. Then lastly, Lulu, if there's anything the museum could have done to make it more inclusive, what would that be?
I don't actually have an answer, or I wouldn't say we are more inclusive enough. So I don't think there's anything the museum needs to add. I don't think we have it all.
Okay, thank you then so much. Kumres, thank you. We are done with our interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think it's important for us to reflect on that interview. I think very informative, and these are the conversations that we should be having on a regular basis. So thank you so much for that. Just a call out again for Wayne Fuchels from George. Are you available? Wayne. Michael is Wayne online. Is he with us?
I don't see him connected unless he's one of those devices that's connected with this very encrypted code. Some people connecting with the cell phones and not showing their real names, but I don't see him.
All right, I think we're going to go to Alicia, please now. Alicia, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you may proceed.
Okay, so my first question is, in which ways do you think diversity is important to museums? Now, if I had to make an example of the Genadendal Museum, I would say history of the Khoi, Dutch history, are all included in one building. So people from different backgrounds or walks of life visit the museum. And there's no discrimination. So people can come and acknowledge the history of all the different cultures. My second question is the museum committed to diversity? I think all museums are committed to diversity, and if I had to make an example of the Genadendal Museum again, I would say that the museum uses diversity as a way of creating deeper meaning and more relevance for their audiences. They are always trying to come up with new ways to get people to connect with what's on view through their newsletters and various social media platforms. So yes, the museum is committed to diversity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think it's important what you said. I've been at the Genadendal Museum, and yeah, it is quite exactly as you mentioned. So well done for that. And can we move on now to the next participant? Do we have Timna Menese from Greenpoint? Are you available, Timna? Timna Menese from Greenpoint. I'm not too sure, Bongime, the representative there is your.
Yes, she is online from Russia.
Okay.
She's just, yeah, hold on.
Okay, thanks, Bongime.
Timna,
so
are you connecting?
For Timna to getting readiness. And the next person to be in readiness would be Aiden October from Swellendam. So please be in readiness, Aiden. So we await Timna Menese now. There's also another shout out for well-weighing Vogels. As Michael mentioned, there could be some encrypted code that is denying access. But nonetheless, we hope that maybe you can get online. All right, so Timna, are you ready?
Hi, Kumresh. We're still struggling to connect for Timna. Once
Okay.
she's online, then I will let you. We will let you know.
Okay, we're gonna move on, Bongi, to the next one, and then we'll get back to you. So
Cool.
8
No
October,
problem.
pleasure. 8 October from Swellendam. Are you ready? Aiden from Swellendam. 8 October from Swellendam. Are you in readiness? So I think we are just waiting now for Tina and Aiden, but in the interim, is it possible for us to take a few comments, possibly a few questions maybe? So I didn't speak to a few people. So is it possible for us to get a comment from Hannah? Yes, you, Hannah. I can see Hannah shaking her head.
Can I comment?
Is your name Hannah Bangi?
No, she just shake her head. So I just want to comment.
Just joking there, Bangi. Okay, go for it.
Okay, I think it's Hermanus Museum, the interview there. I really like the interview and how the questions were structured and the answers. But I just hope that that is the true reflection of the community at large in all the different districts of our museums. I just want to challenge each and every one of us in museums to really think of our museum really inclusive. As much as we are diverse and we want that, are we really, is that the true reflection of each museum in the different, are we really as inclusive as we'd like to be? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anybody want to respond to that? I think it's important for us to respond because we
Can I come in?
Yes, you may.
Hello?
Hi there, we're waiting for your comment.
Can everybody hear me?
You're straight.
Oh, firstly, I would just like to say thank you so much for the invitation and the opportunity to be part of this discussion today. Sorry, today's program. I would just like to add on to more like raise a point in a sense to emphasize that when we're speaking about diversity and inclusion, that it's important to realize that none of that is possible without integrity, respect, and the accountability on all our parts. I would like to see us taking responsibility more in terms of making that a possibility. Because if there's one thing that I have learned in these times is that we like speaking about being included in things, and we like discussing about what we are lacking, but I don't find us asking the real questions as to what can I do to contribute to the society that I would like to live in, what I would like to contribute in the things that I would like to see change. And change only happens when we ourselves would take responsibility for everything that is happening around us. Being part of, I'm speaking in Portugal, so I had the privilege of being around Jan Dankert Museum And I think it's such a great platform in terms of showcasing and in terms of the distribution of information when it comes to the history, not only of the community of Porterville, but also in generally, the musicians are the masters that are supposed to be keeping our history. And I don't think, I wouldn't say that we are failing, but I would just like to put it out there that there's more that we can do in terms of participation and taking responsibility and being active, being proactive in making sure that diversity and inclusion takes place. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to echo, I'm sure, you know, fellow people on the platform would agree. One of our core values, I think, is to give life to all that you've said. But at museums, in my opinion, I'm not too sure whether we actually, you know, actualize the vision of DCAS, which is socially inclusive, creative, active, and connected Western Cape. I did that little rubric there. There's inclusive, and museums need to be the hubs and the cauldrons of actually integrating and joining people, you know, from diverse backgrounds within the community. And it should not in any way be the exclusive domain of any one particular group of people.
Yes.
And that's what we need to start doing. And the one way to do that is to perhaps have programs where we empower and we stimulate debate and we have communication and conversations around certain things that seem to be entrenched within communities. So stereotypes need to be, you know, eradicated, and we need to offer the opportunity to people to really visit museums and to become engaged in the narratives and to, of course, critically, you know, interrogate them. That's in my opinion, and this is how we can have, you know, a new generation of museum leaders, as I would call them. Thanks for
Yes.
that, and we'd like to move on. One final call now for Wellway Focals. Is Wellway with us, or do we need to dispense due to connectivity problems? So pretty much, I think that wraps it up. We are waiting for Timna. I'm not too sure if Timna is available, and I think that would wrap it up for the participants in this session. I'm not too sure how much of time we have, Michael.
Hi, we having an error now with the connection for Timna. Is there another session that is coming? Because we're still trying to reboot a phone and see if we shall be able to sign in again.
All right, I think we can accommodate you for the next session if time permitting. But I think for now, we'd like to maybe open up, you know, the floor for some discussion and some comments.
Okay,
very
cool.
Interesting.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Very interesting, you know, comments and very interesting messages being sent. And this encapsulates a lot of what is in the theme today: equality, inclusion, and diversity. I know it's very cliched, all these terms, but normally one has to, you know, possibly give life to it in our daily, you know, activities, especially at museums and also in our personal lives as well. So us being, you know, at museums and interfacing with the public, there's a great burden of responsibility as instruments of change and positive change that is in, you know, eradicating mental poverty, but also fostering reconciliation and nation building. And I don't mean that, you know, very lightly, to be taken lightly. I know it's also cliched and labored most of the time, but a lot of us need to really reflect on those values for our country to be totally inclusive and to really be united. So any comments? I see the gentleman from the Shipwreck Museum there with the cap and glasses. Forgive me, would you like to make a comment? Shipwreck Museum, comment? Possibly Andrew, anybody to make a comment? Anybody to comment on this session?
There's about time for one more comment or one item. I see that Valwyn Vogels has just connected or is trying to connect. So if he's available, he can do his
Okay, so
performance.
all right, so Valwyn Vogel, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so you got. All right, so you may proceed.
Hello
Yes, sir.
everyone. Hello.
Hi there, Valwyn. You may proceed, please.
Yes, yes, I'm here. Hello, can you hear
Okay,
me?
you may proceed.
Can I perform now?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do a song. It's based on the coronavirus. I'm just saying it's a original song of me, but I just changed the lyrics. So it's
Okay.
Afrikaans song. So it's Afrikaans song. So I'm gonna. Okay, here it goes. Okay. Kom ek vertel jou 'n storie hoe corona 'n mens versoek. Maak net spasie, want dan kom siya diabetes as coronavirus. God se woord is soet. Ek het 'n lekker smaakie binne my hartjie. Ek loop moet vier. Nie als die duivel kan aan my raakie. Ek operate mos die snaaksie. Met God aan my kant sal hy nooit my verlaat nie. Coronavirus sê vir my. Yo, my broer, ek ben se kan. Maak kan nie as my huis aan verlaat nie. Dat is vir my nie, ek kan dit hier skry nie. Corona los my uit, want jy gaan my nie kry nie. Want ek kom seer weer, sê my wie gaan my keer. Ek doen het alweer, maak die duivel so seer. Ek kom seer weer, sê my wie gaan my keer. Ek doen het alweer, maak die duivel so seer. Thank you, there it goes.
Thank you. Just one last comment. Just one last comment. Valwyn, is that how you pronounce your name?
We are Wayne, yeah.
Valwyn. Okay. Thank you so. All right. Cool. Thank you so much. Well done. And when can we get the track, man?
Sorry?
When can we get this track? It sounds really good.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. So I think that wraps it up for now, Michael.
We have one more last participant that just joined, Tina Manise. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Tina, are you there?
hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, you're more than welcome. Thank you so much. Okay, you may proceed.
Can you hear me?
Okay, you may start.
Hi.
Hi there, you can start, you
Okay. Equality. Imagine a world where everyone is equal. Economic freedom. Diversity. Some people refer it as the Rainbow Nation. Inclusion. Humanity no longer exists. South Africa, look at the coronavirus. Who do you think is suffering the most? I wonder. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Well done there. All right, thank you for that, Bangiwe. Finally getting the connection problem sorted out. Is there any other last comment before we close up? Michael will advise us.
We got 2 minutes
Any
left.
comments?
I think there was somebody trying to say something. Casey. Was Casey trying to say something?
Casey.
Okay.
Casey, are you trying to say something? Yes, I think now we're on to the last one. Okay, so Casey, do you want to proceed? Okay, you can continue pressing. Okay, Casey, you can.
What is diversity? Diversity is not about how we differ. It is about embracing one another's uniqueness. Dit wil sê, ons praat met unieke stap en God te bly. Ons moet mekaar se uniekheid omhels en waardeer. Ja, luister.
Thank you, Kumresh. Thank you, Barry. I think we've got about 1 minute left. I suggest we wrap up and disconnect so we can connect session 5, our final session for today.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
See you all in session 5.
Yes, thanks. Thanks, guys.